The WWE Universe just experienced one of the wildest twists in recent memory, and it came at the hands of Bronson Reed. For weeks, the conversation centered around how Brock Lesnar humiliated Reed in dominant fashion, and most fans assumed that was the end of the story. But last night, Reed didn't just get payback. He rewrote the narrative entirely. What was once seen as a one-sided feud has now become a tale of vengeance, strategy, and the rise of a man who proved he won't stay down. From victim to predator. 2 weeks ago, Lesnar demolished Bronson Reed in a way that left fans questioning whether Reed could ever recover his credibility. Lesnar, the beast incarnate, ragdolled the colossal Australian as if it was routine, reinforcing his reputation as WWE's unstoppable force. Yet, instead of fading into the background, Reed used that humiliation as fuel. He studied, prepared, and transformed himself from prey into predator. That shift set the stage for one of the most surprising ambushes in WWE history. The perfect setup. The brilliance of Reed's revenge was how carefully it was orchestrated. During what looked like a routine backstage interview segment, the lights flickered, signaling that something unexpected was about to happen. Lesnar walked into the corridor with his trademark swagger, Paul Heyman in tow, unaware that the man he once destroyed was about to change everything. Reed wasn't just waiting, he was positioned perfectly, blocking the path like a mountain that refused to move. The look that changed the mood. When Brock saw Reed standing there, the shock on his face told the story. It wasn't fear, because Lesnar doesn't do fear, but it was genuine surprise. For the first time in years, someone had the audacity to confront him without hesitation. Reed's presence alone shifted the energy, and fans watching knew instantly that this wasn't going to be business as usual. Words that cut deeper than blows. Before the action even started, the verbal exchange was electric. Reed's voice echoed in the corridor, declaring that what happened 2 weeks ago was just the beginning. His words weren't empty threats, they were calculated promises. Lesnar fired back with his usual intimidation, but this time Reed didn't flinch. His unshaken demeanour showed the world that the man who had been dominated before was gone, replaced by a new version hungry for retribution. A calculated response. When Lesnar tried to impose his will with a trademark shove, Reed didn't move an inch. The pushback wasn't physical, it was psychological. For once, Brock's intimidation failed to break his opponent's spirit. That alone made the atmosphere feel different, almost unsettling, as fans realised Reed wasn't just there to survive, he was there to conquer. The turning point. The moment Lesnar went for a familiar takedown, the match of wits truly began. Reed countered the attempt with precision, proving he had studied Lesnar's tactics. Instead of panicking, he shifted his weight perfectly and turned the beast's own momentum against him. That reversal was the spark that lit the fire, and from then on, the ambush became a statement of control. Strikes with purpose. Reed's offense wasn't reckless or wild. It was methodical. Every strike, every move was deliberate, aimed at cutting down Lesnar piece by piece. It was less about showing off and more about proving a point. Brock Lesnar could be matched not only in power, but in preparation. The crowd, watching in stunned silence before exploding into noise, recognized that this wasn't luck, it was strategy in motion. The use of the environment in WWE, weapons and surroundings often play into confrontations, but Reed's use of the backstage setting showed a level of planning fans don't often see. The narrow hallway left Lesnar no space to maneuver. The props and equipment weren't random, they became tools in Reed's arsenal. This wasn't chaotic fighting, it was controlled storytelling, with every choice designed to remind Brock that he was trapped. Psychological warfare in motion. What made Reed's ambush so captivating was the mind game element. He didn't just overpower Lesnar. he dismantled the aura of invincibility surrounding him. By standing his ground, blocking the corridor, and speaking with confidence, Reed proved that he had flipped the dynamic. Lesnar, so often the hunter, suddenly found himself the hunted. The tsunami statement. The highlight of the confrontation came when Reed delivered his devastating tsunami splash. This wasn't in the middle of a ring with fans cheering in the background. It was in a backstage setting, concrete beneath them, where the move carried a sense of raw finality. The visual of Reed hitting his finisher outside the typical wrestling environment elevated its impact tenfold. Reed's cold delivery. After the physical onslaught, Reed's words cut just as deep. Standing over Lesnar, he calmly reminded the world that even legends can fall. His promo wasn't loud or theatrical. It was quiet, chilling, and deliberate. That calmness made it more menacing than shouting ever could. In that moment, Bronson Reed wasn't just another wrestler. He became a figure of fear and respect. Lesnar vulnerable. Seeing Brock Lesnar vulnerable is rare. For years, his entire image has been built around dominance, destruction, and invincibility. Watching him stretch it out after Reed's ambush was shocking, almost surreal. It wasn't about Brock being weak. It was about the reality that even the strongest can be caught off guard. That image will stick with fans for a long time, and it instantly raised Reed's credibility to new heights. Reactions from legends. What made this even more impactful were the immediate reactions from wrestling icons. Legends like Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Mick Foley, The Rock, and John Cena all chimed in, praising Reed for his calculated revenge. When the greats of the past validate a current superstar's performance, it signals a shift. Reed's transformation wasn't just recognized by fans, it was acknowledged by the industry itself. Fans divided but engaged. On social media, reactions were divided but passionate. Some celebrated Reed's rise, calling it the best moment of his career. Others worried that Lesnar's aura had been damaged. But whether fans were cheering or complaining, one fact stood out. Everyone was talking about it. In wrestling, that's the ultimate sign of success. Reed's ambush made people care, debate, and engage at levels WWE hadn't seen in months. The new landscape. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about reshaping WWE's hierarchy. Bronson Reed instantly catapulted himself from mid-card powerhouse to legitimate main event player. You can't systematically dismantle Brock Lesnar and still be treated as just another guy. Whether WWE planned it this way or not, Reed forced himself into the spotlight, and now the creative team must adjust to that reality. The Beast questioned. For Brock Lesnar, this ambush creates a new challenge. His character thrives on being unstoppable, but Reed just proved that even the Beast can be vulnerable. That doesn't weaken Brock. It makes him more interesting. A comeback story, a feud born of humiliation and rage, could be the fuel that drives Lesnar's next chapter. For the first time in years, fans are asking, can Brock recover? And how will he respond? Reed's evolution. What sets this apart from other rivalries is Reed's evolution. He didn't just show brute strength. He revealed cunning, patience, and intelligence. He became more than the colossal. He became a calculating predator, a character with depth that fans and critics alike can sink their teeth into. This version of Reed has the potential to carry storylines far beyond a single feud. Endless possibilities. The aftermath leaves WWE with endless booking possibilities. Do they book the rematch immediately, capitalizing on the shock factor? Do they slow burn the rivalry, letting Reed build his aura while Brock heals and plots revenge? Do other superstars step in, seeing the opportunity to challenge Lesnar now that he's been exposed? Each option leads to compelling television, and that unpredictability is what keeps fans invested. The business impact. From a business standpoint, the ambush has already paid dividends. Clips of Reed's revenge are trending globally, generating millions of views. Engagement levels rival those of WrestleMania highlights, proving that this storyline has mainstream appeal. When moments cross over into cultural conversation, WWE knows they've struck gold. Conclusion? A new era begins. In the span of 15 minutes, Bronson Reed transformed from a rising star to a made man. His calculated ambush on Brock Lesnar wasn't just about revenge, it was about announcing himself as a legitimate force in WWE. For Brock, it created a new layer of intrigue, vulnerability, and motivation. For fans, it reignited the unpredictability that makes wrestling so addictive. The Beast was hunted, the Colossal ascended, and the WWE landscape will never be the same again.